You want the chair? Oh, this chair is like it's still there. You want that chair there?
What chair?
This chair is like no, just we have chairs.
So you're doing it for this matter.
I don't know what he's trying to say. You want to know that the chair belongs there.
Do you guys need the list?
I didn't know if he was like, yeah, that's the one. I don't know if he's quite a chairs.
It's probably meant to be.
Here's Grandpa. Good. Is your family here as well? Are you good?
What are you up to during this?
Oh, I'm I get to announce everyone's names, and even though I didn't have to announce them all in my room last night when I read them aloud, I tried to have that how I will so that would be fun.
How are you?
Yeah. Because I was like, I knew what to do, and then today I was just like, well, what have I been wrong? Like, side who's? He's not on the list. For the most part, I have it. The only one I actually had to
Yeah, there's go skiing. Good for you. Good for you.
Exercise. Check those bags.
So here you
He's taking Yeah. Yeah, and then the tornado warnings that one day, we were supposed to fly in that day. We did, but we had to stay in Bellevue in Seattle for an extra hour on the door, waiting to take off. You got a cheat sheet.
How much do you think I can
Not bad, actually.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
My brother's getting out tonight. Yeah, he's going to Japan for something. Getting out. Yeah, he's going to. Let's see. Yeah, but he's trying to get out.
Matt, he gets a minor spot.
Because I just contracted.
Another GA that's been in for a year. And that's
You're in the midst. Like, do you guys go like underway with them too? Yeah. Yeah. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
The hours.
Yeah. We're not clear.
I mean, why? Why did I agree? Are you flying? Thanks.
Oh, the second part of that.
Oh yeah, $3 of gas here. $3.
There you go. Pays for itself.
Oh yeah, Buffalo Minutes for $500. They're in my stock size, but they're hella cheap. The guy posted it on like the Traffic Tech group. They're 6 years old though, so I asked Barry about it first. But he said there's no like side cracking or whatever.
Yeah.
But he said it was in climate control. Well, here's a very if there is side cracking, I mean, like I bought some ones and like when I raced, it got so hot that they built an actual undersell. So that's how it works.
He said it was a camel.
I don't know.
Yeah, I already camel drove this down.
500's not bad. It's 265.
They look like they're flat.
Wait, those are 8 inch rings. They're not. The Evas are 8s. I saw them this tire, or 2 inch tire. We're gonna do this too.
He's gonna take them eventually.
Yeah. He didn't take this to that Jesse's right there.
Yeah, it's only running though.
They said they got
I don't care.
Sure didn't erase out yet. What you use, like, just right out. Might get rained on.
It's still fine.
Yeah, rain and I left everything in the truck. Box got my bag was my
Oh, what happens actually here?
This will put on marketplace for like $5. Maybe 20. Is the cord in there too? Let's see, you didn't give me the cord, but you gave me the actual cord. Yeah. Yes. Can you type that
Yeah. That's it.
Right. When you come back, I'm pulling your chair. When you come back, I'm pulling your chair. Dude, I don't know. Do we go like? That.
So I don't know who's going to go. Make sure they. No. The thing is, they're going to be behind them, and I'm pretty sure they're here. But it's going to be just him. They used to do that. I'm like, yeah, $1,060. Oh, really? That's what they used to do.
Oh, because and then you wait.
And they said you. That person doesn't get food by now, so they get the money. Because they got the closest.
We didn't do that. That would be pretty cool.
I don't know if it's on, man.
It's on? Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. It is on.
So, say hi.
Is there a Jonathan Sadu logged in?
Oh, we actually are. It's a live stream.
Whoa, dude, you're trending.
We're trending. I don't know who's on, but.
Wait, what?
You just went from 24 to 25 participants.
Dude, wow. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's I was like, it's an empty chair. You go. No, because I missed.
Yeah. Angel Torres said yes, Jesse.
So it's backwards. So I was like,
The chat is commenting.
And then I looked
Angel
this way.
Torres says yes, Jesse. So the mic's on. You can say stuff.
No.
Am I going to be walking up from somewhere, or am I just like...
So yeah.
I don't know.
It's on. I don't know when.
Daniel, just look at what everyone else is doing.
I don't know where
It's really great. You never regret anything ever.
I just say mom.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the Aces, right? Or
Aces.
Zephyrus. Yeah. Zephyrus or whatever.
No reason. Nothing.
I think we might need some entertainment, some free
Oh my god, an earthquake!
Who invited this guy? That's just the camera's
Why is it just on this?
down.
Because we don't have a decent camera set. After
You realize you're pointing it down, right?
Yeah, it's up the ground. Oh, all 25 viewers now know.
I know. Wait, how about like this?
I think you have to. Hit it like this, probably.
I don't know if that works.
Can you see it?
Tilt, Jesse, tilt it this way.
Like this?
That's probably good.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't like that.
Pretty sure it was.
You messed up my point.
Dude, we got it figured out. We got it figured out.
Is it like this?
No, but
I told you.
Where? How was it?
It was like I had it at a 90-degree angle, resting on it.
Oh.
But if that works
In
too,
just
that
a
works
few
too.
minutes. We want to apologize for the delay. There are a few people stuck in traffic due to accidents outside of the gates. So they'll be here shortly and we'll get started when they arrive. Also, if you need an extra chair for your family members or for whomever is with you, please let one of us know. Raise your hand, we'll come by. Turn off your phones, or the ringers at least. Thank you.
The issue is the live streaming equipment they lost. So I'm using a webcam. Yeah. If it works, it works.
That wasn't me.
Well, me.
We apologize for the technical difficulties.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was like, people's commenting. Everything's going. Like the Air Force on the way. Yes. Do you want audio?
Which way am I supposed to
I found it pretty good.
I was like 61, 60.
It's on cam. It's on. Or maybe someone recheck their internet. It's being recorded, so it's gonna be like buffering. What's going on?
Everyone's there. I think what's stopping it is like
Yeah, like it's like this.
I'm only here for Oh, $3. $3 is gas.
There's 30 people on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will please find your seats, we'll begin this evening's ceremony. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cadet Second Class Curry von Schlag, and I will be the MC for tonight's ceremony. Today we gather to celebrate a momentous occasion for 23 members of Cadet Squadron 1 in the class of 2021 as they graduate from the United States Air Force Academy. In a few short moments, the graduating cadets will one by one raise their right hands and swear or affirm the oath of commissioned officers. This oath has its roots in the oath of the Continental Army as far back as 1775. The oath is not to any individual or organization, but rather to the democratic processes and civil liberties that our founders enumerated in the Constitution. The oath of commissioning signifies an unwavering commitment to ideals greater than any of us: democracy, liberty, security, and the pursuit of a more perfect union. The class of 2021 first took this oath on day one of basic cadet training. Over the last 4 years, they have come to understand the gravity of the responsibilities of a commissioned officer and are prepared to begin their service to the nation as second lieutenants. Please stand for the singing of the national anthem by Cadet 4th Class Jacob Dush and the invitation by Father Foley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what soundly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Cadet Dush. Father Foley will now give the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, the oath that these officer candidates are about to take is most solemn and most serious. Our government, our defense, and our way of life as a nation rests on this oath. Bless those who take it here this evening. May they mean every word of it and fulfill its requirements with integrity, excellence, and even sacrifice. Bless these young women and men, soon to be the newest commissioned officers in the United States military. Amen.
Thank you, Father Foley. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to start off by introducing our official party. The host for this evening's ceremony, Cadet Squadron 1 Air Officer Commanding Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Casterco. Our guest speaker for this evening's ceremony, Lieutenant Colonel Bradley Davies, Wing Director of Operations. Cadet Squadron 1 Academy Military Trainers, Master Sergeant Sean McKeegan and Tech Sergeant Christy Bright. We would also like to take a moment to recognize the families and friends of all of our commissioned cadets. We are truly honored by your presence and offer our most sincere thanks for the years of love and support that you have provided our graduates with already, and will continue to provide them in their careers as officers. Please join me in a round of applause in their honor. We will now play a short video created by our USAPA leadership.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. It has been a long year, and we couldn't be more proud of your efforts alongside your AOCs, AMTs, instructors, coaches, and mentors. You've had a very unique opportunity to develop as a leader in the midst of a global pandemic, learning and adapting alongside your permanent party counterparts as we did the same. Congratulations as you begin the next chapter of your journey. Stay humble, be by example, hold yourselves to the highest standards, stay healthy and safe, and have fun. Find your place in our Air and Space Force and be the leaders that we need you to be. Welcome to the long blue line. Pull
Class of 2021. Wow, I can't believe we're finally here. 4 years ago, you probably couldn't have imagined this day coming, but that shows you just how fast time goes by. And no doubt, your last 4 years has helped prepare you to be the leaders our airmen, guardians, and our nation need you to be. When I personally think about the class of 2021, I think of your undeniable ability to persevere, adapt, and lead in any situation thrown your way. You have been the leaders this institution needed in time of uncertainty and constant change. The leaders we needed to transcend what most thought was impossible. You have and will forever be the class that led like no other class before you and experienced firsthand the meaning of service before self. Now that this day has come, look around you and reflect upon the friendships you've made, the challenges you've prevailed through, and all the memories you've created. And today, when you recite that oath of office and officially become second lieutenants in our Air Force and our Space Force, I ask you to internalize what being a part of the profession of arms really means to you. These are not just words on a piece of paper. The oath encapsulates the great responsibility that comes with wearing this uniform as a member of the armed forces that you are joining today. So many amazing leaders, tinkerers, and trailblazers have come before you. And someday, as a second lieutenant, you might be one of those individuals that others look up to. Individuals who've inspired them to do more, dream more, and become more. Individuals who stay true to themselves, what they value, and how in the face of doubt or adversity, never lost their sense of direction. These are the individuals we need you to be, and I have no doubt that you are ready to be them. So as you embark on this next chapter, I ask that you approach each opportunity with the same vigor and inquisitiveness as you have your time here at USAPA. Continue to learn and grow. Treat everyone with dignity and respect. Lead and follow. And stay true to your values and the values of our Air Force and our Space Force. So a few final words of advice from your Commandant. Always remember to make a good first impression. They tend to stick with you for a while. I promise a good first impression will make your life so much easier and set you up for success. Those first interactions are how you're going to garner the support of your boss and their trust, something that is going to be invaluable as a leader and follower. Be the best lieutenant you can be, and make your unit and our air and our space forces better. Find a way to set yourself apart. Follow up on that first impression and be an expert in your craft. Be the person others seek out due to your mastery of your skill set. Make the organization better when you leave it than when you come. So again, congratulations, class of 2021. I am so incredibly proud of you. I cannot wait to serve next to you and see the remarkable things you will do. And I can't wait to see you make our Air Force and our Space Force rise alongside you. Congratulations.
Our speaker for this evening is Lieutenant Colonel Bradley Davies. Colonel Davies is a 2005 graduate of the Air Force Academy, which is also a silver class. He is a senior pilot with more than 2,500 hours to include missions in support of Operations Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, New Dawn, and Inherent Resolve. He is an instructor pilot in the C-17 Globemaster III and an evaluator pilot in the RQ-4 Global Hawk. He then served in a variety of staff positions at Ramstein Air Force Base, Germany, before being given the privilege of returning to USAPA as the AOC for the Academy's finest squadron, Mighty Mach One. He now serves as the Wing Director of Operations and is currently enjoying his last few years in Colorado with his wife Michelle and their 5 children before PCSing to Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, and adjusting to the heat and humidity once again. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the class of 2021, it is my honor to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Bradley Davies.
Unfortunately, I do not have epic music to play behind me. So a couple thank yous to start off to Cadet Benchlag, Cadet Dash, to Cadet Samuels, and the whole team. So events like this don't just happen. There's a whole team working fast and furious behind the scenes. So appreciate all of you guys stepping up to make this event what it is tonight. To the firsties, class of 21, it's good to see you guys again. Thanks for inviting me to come speak to you. So always a privilege, but an extra special privilege when it's for the best squadron in the world. Colonel Kosturko, thanks for letting me be a part of this night with your squadron. And then to all our guests. So having seen this a year ago, where we didn't have any guests in person, I think it's extra special and extra meaningful this year. Just how much it means to share that with family and friends and folks that were so impactful along the way for our soon-to-be graduates. So thank you, all of you, for traveling from across the country to be here tonight. All right, so I'm going to take the next couple of hours to discuss how you got here, what this moment means, and where you're going. So how you got here, this group of 23 fine young men and women arrived at USAPA on June 29th, 2017, coming from 20 different states around the U.S., and undoubtedly all knowing exactly what you're getting into when you stepped off that bus. After completing basic training, you joined 16 different squadrons around the wing. As 4 degrees, and 9 of you had the distinct privilege of getting to experience life in Saigon Hall during the first 2 years. You completed one of the most unique and challenging aspects, certainly, of the USAPA experience, your 4-degree year, which was filled with challenges from recognition to Nerf guns and beyond. You took on roles as supervisors during your 3-degree year. Your academic course loads increased, and you narrowed in on academic majors. After entering the world of cards, loans, and ops Air Force during the summer after your 3-year year, You all shuffled together into Mighty Mach One. By this time, you represented 12 different academic majors, 8 sports teams, multiple aviation competition teams, and numerous clubs and extracurricular organizations. The fall semester of your 2-degree year, which I got to be a part of with you, looked fairly normal, including things such as a football season that saw the squadron rise to new heights of tailgating excellence, a host of intramural glory, and countless victories over Buttes in every possible way. But the spring semester, as you know, is anything but normal. On March 13th, 2020, you took on a challenge different than any rising first-year class that you saw had faced. Many of you stepped up immediately into leadership roles in the squadron as flight commanders, as element leaders, 4 months earlier than expected, while also figuring out how to complete the academic year remotely at a school that had never done any remote learning. Some of you who stayed at USAFA stepped up to lead the newly formed Squadrons 42 and 43. All of you took on the challenges of leading, learning, communicating, and staying connected while spread out throughout the country. You carried that leadership into this year, your first year, like the Commandant said, as the first USAFA class in history to lead the wing through a global pandemic. I know you're sick of hearing about this, but your family and friends are not, so we're going to keep talking about how awesome you are. Throughout this year, in the course of your cadet career, everybody's had different highs and lows in this room. Everybody's had different challenges, different successes. But each of you has made it to this moment, the moment you've been working toward since you stepped off that bus. So speaking of this moment, a little bit about what this moment means. So for our history majors, correct me if I'm wrong, but our current country, our way of life, and our freedoms we enjoy are not common or natural in the course of history. And they must be protected if they're going to continue. So the Department of Defense is vital to achieving this and exists to protect the nation by deterring war and winning wars if deterrence fails. In our current environment, the environment that you're commissioning into and where you will lead, starting tomorrow, the most recent National Defense Strategy describes that environment as more complex and volatile than anything we've experienced in recent memory, defined by rapid technological change and challenges from adversaries in every operating domain. The Air Force and the Space Force have a vital role in the overall DoD mission in this environment, with the Air Force delivering air power anytime and anywhere, and the Space Force protecting our interests in space and delivering critical space capabilities to the Joint Force. General Brown, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, in his strategic approach, Accelerate, Change, or Lose, has highlighted the level and speed of adaptation that will be needed to prevail in this environment, and the stakes if we as a department and a nation fail. You will be the ones tasked with leading our services to make these changes and to continue to adapt. A commission in the United States military represents delegated authority of the President, and the citizens of our country depend on the armed forces for security and expect the highest standards of character and competence from their officers. As Air Force and Space Force officers, you'll be entrusted with multi-million-dollar platforms, means to deliver incredibly lethal force, and the duty and responsibility of leading our most precious resource, our airmen and our guardians. Ultimately, it's about service. As you commission, you'll be continuing your service in the next level and taking on much more responsibility to carry out the mission, protect the nation, and lead well. Now for where you're going. When the 23 of you, alongside the rest of your classmates, toss your hat into the air at Falcon Stadium tomorrow and the T-Birds go screaming over through the blue, cloudless skies above without a hint of storm or precipitation, you'll start your journey as officers and leaders in our military. After a well-earned 60 days of leave, you'll be heading to 11 different career fields and 16 different bases. You'll be developing specialized skills, but you will also be expected to lead at every step moving forward, no matter your career field. As you start out and progress on your journey as officers, I encourage you to seek 2 things. You've probably already heard these things from me: growth and positive impact. In terms of growth, most everything will be new. So challenge yourselves and lean into opportunities to grow as officers, as leaders, and as people. Set your priorities early on, both inside and outside the military, and fight for them in everything you do. Be humble and approachable, and seek to learn from those who've been doing it a while as you gain experience. Always be willing to step back one level to try and understand the bigger picture. There are always details at the next level that are being considered that you don't know about, and challenge others that you lead to do the same. In terms of positive impact, Each of you is going to have an impact on others every day, whether you realize it or not. Keep your eyes open and look for ways to make a positive impact on those around you. Occasionally, this will look like big organizational or mission impacts, but most of the time, it will probably look more like a simple conversation with somebody that you see every day. It probably won't seem glamorous. Focus on what you can control and don't spend any time on what you can't. And finally, be you. The Air Force chose each of you to come to USAFA and is now commissioning each of you for who you are. Don't try to artificially make yourself into something you're not because you feel pressured that that's what's required for a given role. Instead, double down on your own unique talents and strengths and abilities and trust your instincts as you begin your journey as an officer. So in closing, life beyond the gates of USAFA will change significantly for each of you. But the good news is, if that change is too abrupt or overwhelming, you can always ease into it by doing a few simple things, like continuing to hold yourself to PFT standards, choosing to pay for terrible Wi-Fi service, asking your commander for permission to take a nap. I don't recommend that one. Celebrating big events with that exquisite culinary pairing of steak and tortellini. Or removing the shower head at your first apartment to get the water pressure just right. But seriously, you've been given a unique opportunity here over the last 4 years. Take what you've seen, take what you've learned, the good, the bad, and everything in between, and build on that as a starting point moving forward. Most importantly, take with you the friendships and the bonds that were forged here, some of which will last a lifetime. And take pride knowing that you're about to join along the blue line of over 50,000 USAFA graduates and countless other men and women who raised their hands and took the same oath that you'll be taking tonight to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies and protect our nation. To our guests, if you've turned on the news at any point in the last couple of years, you know that there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of negativity, and reason for concern in the world. Let me assure you, though, having seen up close the caliber of people we have in this wing, and specifically in this squadron, the future of our Air Force, our Space Force, our military, and our nation are in excellent hands. As our superintendent is fond of saying, if you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, you can be sure of one thing: it didn't get there on its own. That's a metaphor. Soon to be graduates, you're the turtles. You're on the fence post right now, and none of you got here on your own. So amidst all of your celebrating over the next 24 hours, be sure to take the time to thank those who've helped make this night a reality. So class of 21 Griffins, enjoy this moment with your classmates, friends, and family. You've earned it. Enjoy graduation tomorrow. I look forward to serving alongside you, and I look forward to seeing you all back here in 15 years when you return as AOCs. Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Davies. The 2021 Griffins again would like to thank you for sharing your time with us tonight. In order to express our appreciation, the Spring 2021 Cadet Squadron Commander, Cadet First Class Driana Anthony, would like to offer you a small token of our appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the commissioning of the United States Air Force Academy's Cadet Squadron 1, class of 2021. We'll begin by calling names in alphabetical order with a few exceptions for timing. As your name is called, please make your way to the stage accompanied by the individuals administering your oath of office, pinning you on, and performing your first salute. After the official oath has been taken, you will be pinned on and the first salute will occur. If you are the next cadet in line, please walk to the on-deck position located just off the stage. We do have a photographer, Cadet Zanulik, who will be taking pictures of the new lieutenants throughout the ceremony, and these photos will be made available to you. Once the oath has been taken, you've been pinned on, and the first salute has been rendered, please exit the stage where the graduating cadets will receive a gift on behalf of Cadet Squadron 1. Our first commissioning lieutenant is Cadet Driana Anthony. Cadet Anthony has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Casterco to administer her oath of office.
Having been appointed as second lieutenant, to the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without a mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Anthony's family to the stage to pin on her new ring. Cadet Anthony is receiving her first salute this evening by Sergeant Andre Anthony. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Brianna Anthony. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Jelani Washington. Cadet Washington has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Casterco to administer his oath of office this evening.
Solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Washington's family to the stage to pin on his new ring. Cadet Washington is receiving his first salute this evening by Master Sergeant Sean McKeegan. lieutenant is Sam Butler. Cadet Butler has asked Colonel Retired Stephen Butler to administer his oath of office.
I, Stephen,
I, Samuel Joseph Butler,
the second lieutenant
have been appointed the second lieutenant
of the United States Air Force,
of the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear to support and defend
to solemnly swear to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to,
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
so help me God.
So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Butler's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet Butler is receiving his first salute this evening by Cadet Seth Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Sam Butler. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Cadet Jake Carson. Cadet Carson has asked Lieutenant Colonel Bradley Davies to administer the oath of office.
Solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. I will well and faithfully discharge and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Carson's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet Carson is receiving his first salute this evening by Cadet Josh Kretz. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Jake Carson. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Cameron Conrad. Cadet Conrad has asked Lieutenant Colonel Kerrigan to administer the oath of office.
I state your name. I, Cameron Conrad, having been appointed as second lieutenant, of the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Conrad's family to the stage to pin on his new ring. Cadet Conrad is receiving his first salute this evening virtually by Senior Master Sergeant Steve Burke. Sergeant Burke, if you could please check the Skype. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Daniel Conrad. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Sierra Crawford. Cadet Crawford has asked Major Jeremy Van Drish to administer the oath of office.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. All enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about.
Cadet Crawford standing on the stage to pin on her new ring. Cadet Crawford is receiving her first salute this evening by A1C Wyatt Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Sierra Crawford. Our next commissioning lieutenant is James Duffy. Cadet Duffy has asked Cadet Captain Zhang to administer the oath of office.
I, James Duffy, appointed the second lieutenant of the United States Air Force. Having been appointed the second lieutenant of the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I bear true faith and allegiance to the state. That I bear a true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties of the office upon which I know I take the so help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Duffy's family to the stage and on his new rank. Cadet Duffy is receiving his first salute this evening by Master Sergeant Sean McKeegan. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant James Duffy. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Josiah Goosen. Cadet Goosen has asked Lieutenant Colonel retired Gary Goosen to administer the oath of office.
Solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any reservation, without no reservation, that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Goosen's family to the stage to begin on his new rank. Cadet Goosen is receiving his first salute this evening by Cadet Kyle Samuels. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Josiah Goosen. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Maxwell Harper. Cadet Harper has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Casturco to administer the oath of office.
I, Maxwell Harper. Having been appointed as Second Lieutenant in the United States Space Force. Solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservations. Or purpose of evasion. And I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Harper's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet Harper is receiving his first salute this evening by Senior Master Sergeant Retired Mark Hartman. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Maxwell Harper. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Zachary Hunt. Cadet Hunt has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Casturco to administer the oath of office. We'd like to welcome Cadet Hunt's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Hunt is receiving his first salute this evening by U.S. Marine Corps Master Sergeant Retired Stephen Hunt. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Zachary Hunt. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Rebecca Joy. Cadet Joy has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Castorco to administer the oath of office.
Support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. True faith. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without mental reservation. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. For purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully. And I will well and faithfully discharge the duties. Discharge the duties of the office of the office on the time of that
We'd like to welcome Cadet Joy's family to the stage to pin on her new ring. Cadet Joy is receiving her first salute this evening by Master Sergeant Sean McKeegan. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Rebecca Joy. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Connor Neal. Cadet Neal has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Castorco to administer the oath of office.
I, Connor, having been appointed second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Neal's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet Neal is receiving his first salute this evening by Technical Sergeant Casey Neal. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Connor. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Charlie O'Brien. Cadet O'Brien has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Casterco to administer the oath of office. We'd like to welcome Cadet O'Brien's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet O'Brien is receiving his first salute this evening virtually by Cadet Second Class Andrew Mystery. Not virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Charlie O'Brien. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Tyler Owens. Cadet Owens has asked Captain Bill Owens to administer the oath of office. We'd like to welcome Cadet Owens' family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet Owens is receiving his first salute this evening by Cadet Daniel Villanueva. Second Lieutenant Albert Owens. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Liz Patterson. Cadet Patterson has asked Captain Retired Kit DeGilio to administer the oath of office. We'd like to welcome Cadet Patterson's family to the stage to plan on her new rank. Cadet Patterson is receiving her first salute this evening by Master Sergeant Cal Rogers. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Liz Patterson. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Olivia Pease. Cadet Pease has asked Lieutenant Colonel Robert Switzer to administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Olivia Pease,
having been appointed Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed as Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Pease's family to the stage to pin on her new rank. Cadet Pease is receiving her first salute this evening by Sergeant Jacob Pease. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Oliver. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Ben Peterson. Cadet Peterson has asked Second Lieutenant Ben Waters to administer the oath of office. We'd like to welcome Cadet Peterson's family to the stage to pin on his new ring. Cadet Peterson is receiving his first salute this evening by Chief Petty Officer Retired James Reese. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Ben Peterson. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Alex Schrank. Cadet Schrank has asked Lieutenant Colonel Brenda Schrank to administer the oath of office.
solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to this obligation freely, without any commitment or reservation, or purpose of evasion, and that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Schrank's family to the stage to put on his new ring. Cadet Schrank is receiving his first salute this evening by Sergeant Jason Schrank virtually. next commissioning lieutenant is Gunner Schultz. Cadet Schultz has asked Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Costurco to administer the oath of office.
I take this obligation freely. Running the legislation. Participation. And on a well and faithful discharge the duties. The office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Schultz's family to the stage to pin on his earring. Cadet Schultz is receiving his first salute this evening by Cadet Daniel Villanueva. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Colonel Schultz. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Jesse Sidhu. Cadet Sidhu has asked Lieutenant Colonel David Merritt to administer the oath of office. Each will be at the end of a long journey.
All I just want to ask that bear true faith and allegiance to the same, I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and take this obligation freely. And take this obligation freely without any mental reservation. Without any mental reservation. And I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Discharge the duties of the office upon which I am. Of the office upon which I am. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Sidhu's family to the stage to pin on his new ring. Cadet Sidhu is receiving his first salute this evening virtually by First Sergeant Jonathan Sidhu. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Jesse Taylor. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Alyssa Tamburo. Cadet Tamburo has asked Major Retired Michael Tamburo to administer the oath of office. We'd like to welcome Cadet Tamburo smiling to the stage to pin on her new rank. Cadet Tamburo is receiving her first salute this evening virtually by Senior Airman Cody Martinez. Not virtually. I had a bad list. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Alyssa Tamburo. Our next commissioning lieutenant is Kurt Thomas. Cadet Thomas has asked Colonel Retired Lloyd Thomas to administer the oath of office.
I, Kurt Robert Thomas, having been appointed as Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force, solemnly swear that I will support and defend the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Thomas's family to the stage to pin on his new rank. Cadet Thomas is receiving his first salute virtually this evening by Cadet Zach Beatty. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Kurt Thomas. final commissioning lieutenant this evening is Andrew Vanishik. Cadet Vanishik has asked Colonel Retired Carolyn Vanishik to administer the oath of office.
Here we go, Benny.
States. And support the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I take this obligation freely. I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation. Without any mental reservation. Purpose of evasion. Purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully. And I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Discharge the duties. Of the office upon which I'm about to enter. The office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
We'd like to welcome Cadet Vanishik's family to the stage to pin on his new ring. Cadet Vanishik is receiving his first leave this evening by Petty Officer First Class Johnny Almos. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Andrew Vanishik. At this time, would all the new lieutenants please return to the stage for a class photo? Alright, thank you. More photos will be available with your lieutenant after the ceremony. We would now like to invite Cadet Squadrons 1 Air Officer Commanding Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Castorco to provide a few closing remarks after our current Cadet Squadron Commander, Brianna Anthony, speaks.
Can we get all the lieutenants to come back up here, please? Thank you. Okay, so I don't have much to say, but this year has been pretty hectic for us, just being firsties, and so we just wanted to show our appreciation to our AOC, just with some flowers to thank her for all she's done for us and making this possible. So give her a warm round of applause.
All right. Great. Man, thank you all. I wasn't expecting this at all. Thank you. I'm a sucker for the feels. So like all of these hugs today, all of the love from the family that we saw coming up here today. It's been so long since our now lieutenants have been able to share these types of events with their families. And so I feel that. I especially felt it when Josh was up here. Where are you? I don't see him anymore. Oh, there you are. When he was singing the anthem, and then we all joined in. That was wonderful. And it takes a lot of guts to be able to get up here and to do those types of things. So please, let's give another round of applause. And then I'd love another round of applause for Kyle and his team for putting this together. Thank you all for sticking around tonight. I know it's a late night. If you're like me, you're probably in bed already, right? But it's totally worth it to see these lieutenants get pinned on today. I want to thank all the family members here, fiancés, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandparents. You've raised such fine human beings, and they have a desire to, and they're willing to serve our nation. And that's why our military is it is the greatest in the world. And it's because we have people that want to be here, right? They feel that call to serve. They want to contribute. They want to make a difference. And they want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And it isn't easy, right? And I may not have been a grad here from USAVA, but I've seen your lieutenant fight every single day. They want this more than they let on. More than what you see in their face and what they maybe brush off. They want to be here, right? They wouldn't have made this choice if they didn't. They would have stayed on their couch through COVID, taking classes online with a fridge down the hall and a dog right next to them. They chose to be here. They chose to go through this crazy, crazy year, right? They wouldn't have chosen, if they wanted to be here. They wanted to be here, and they showed that by standing 6 feet away from their roommate or from their underclassmen next door, checking on them every single night just to make sure that they're okay, right? They've helped each other through this year of COVID craziness. They showed true leadership, a lot of times with some creativity, and they will become better officers because of it. They know how to adapt. They know how to roll with the punches of the changing guidance. And I hate to break it to you guys, that's not the end of changing guidance in your career. You're going to see that a lot. And they're more resilient on the other end because of it. So I speak for all of us, Master Sergeant McKeegan, Sergeant Wright, and I'm sure Colonel Davies too, when we say that we are incredibly proud of you. So bear with me, give me a little leverage or a little leeway here. I'm going to ask all of our lieutenants to close your eyes. All right, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to focus on how you feel right now. Take a deep breath. Think about all that you've done to get here, from getting that acceptance letter, to recognition, to late night studying, to being told last year you were leaving to spend the rest of the spring semester home. Take a breath and soak that in. Now imagine tomorrow what it's going to feel like crossing that stage. Think about those people that are sitting beside you right now and how much pride they have of what you are doing and knowing what you are about to do. You got that? Go ahead and open your eyes. I see some smiles. I see some shoulders being put back and standing tall. You should be proud, right? I want you to come back to this feeling, what you're feeling today, this week. And when the world crashes in around you, you're going to have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulder. I want you to know that you can do amazing things in the worst of conditions. You are absolutely capable. And if you come back to these feelings of this week, it will help push you to get through. I'm excited to see all of the great things that you will do for our Air Force and our Space Force. That kind of means I want us to keep in touch too. So thank you all for making this year phenomenal for us. I could not have handpicked a better Mach One.
senior class. So I want one more thing before we go tonight, before you are released to celebrate. Following Curry's last words today, I'd like to share a toast with you on the table to the side. Okay? All right. Congratulations, Mach One.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Casturbo. We would also like to extend a thank you to our permanent party, Master Sergeant Sean McKeegan, Tech Sergeant Christy Wright, and their spouses for all that they have done for our class. We also want to thank the commissioning ceremony team for putting this wonderful event together. And finally, we want to thank the families and friends of the class of 2021 for their incredible support over the last several years here at USAPA. Thank you to all of you. At this time, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song. Off we go
into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. You come to me a toss thunder, and the gun. Down we dive, sung a flame from under, off with one of a roar. Came down and like, hey, nothing can stop the US Air Force.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the commissioning ceremony for Cadet Squadron 1, Class of 2021. At this time, we invite all our new lieutenants, permanent party, and Lieutenant Colonel Davies to the reception table for a toast. We hope you have a wonderful night. Enjoy the graduation ceremony tomorrow morning. Thank you for singing with us tonight, and congratulations again to the Class of 2021.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was like, oh, he's holding it.